Hello students, we are going to make a pizza pillow. First you need to have the right shape with your fabric. That means lay the stencil on top. See how my stencil isn't really on top of the fabric in some places? Before you trace a stencil, you have to make sure, look all around all the sides and make sure it really is on fabric. Sometimes it can move and part of it is off the fabric. That means the fabric won't be the right shape. So make sure it's laying down completely on the fabric in a corner if possible. Next, you're going to take a Sharpie and trace as little as possible right up against the edge. I'm noticing that my fabric isn't exactly the right shape, so I'm going to go ahead and trace on those skinny parts. It wasn't an exact square, and that's okay. And I'm just lightly running the marker to trace. Next, you're going to cut just inside of the line, nice and slow. Notice fabric is fully on the table, nice and flat. That will help you cut. Fabric is more difficult to cut than paper because it doesn't always stay flat. But if you move very slowly with good sharp scissors, cutting inside of the marker line so we can get rid of that marker, you will do great. And then just showing you real quick how I'm gonna do those extra trims and make sure there's no black marker remaining on my beautiful piece of fabric. Next, we're gonna sew. Just like you may have practiced on paper, we're gonna do spiral stitch. I'm also gonna make sure that I have a little piece of paper so that I can have an easier time threading my needle. If you've got a very small, thin piece of paper, you can use it to thread your needle. I fold it in half, I squeeze the yarn inside, the thread inside, and then I pull it through the eye. So easy. But first, you have to get some string. You can get a playful color string, like pink or purple, or you can get a more serious colored string that will blend in with the pizza, like beige. Get an arm's length, and then you need to create a knot on one end by wrapping it 3 times around, rolling it off of your finger, and then strangling it down. And on the other side, you have to thread your needle. Once you have a threaded needle with like a little ponytail and a knot on the other end, you're ready to sew. We begin to sew inside of your little sandwich of fabric. I'll show you what I mean. Poke the needle inside the place where you would take a bite, and that leaves a little lump in there, but it hides that big ugly knot, that stop knot we put in the end of the string. Then you're going to start to spiral stitch. That means you always come in from the back and pull forward. We're connecting 2 pieces of fabric, so my left hand is holding those fabrics together. And then when I'm sewing, I look and make sure my needle is going through the back fabric and the front fabric, and I pull, pull, pull until a stitch is made that closes them together. Every time my needle comes up through the fabric, I death grip it so that the ponytail doesn't come out. When you go really fast, you might get a snag. That's why it's better to kind of pull, pull, pull slowly instead of quickly. If you get a snag, try using the tip of your needle to loosen it up. Usually it pops right out pretty easily as long as you didn't make it real tight. You're going to keep sewing the same size stitch all the way around your pizza. Before you finish closing your pizza pouch all the way closed, leave a little bit open and you're gonna glue on your toppings.